thank you, everyone. Welcome to the field where we'll do some practical demonstration today. Let's just move along this line so that our researchers can address us and then we can begin, please. All right, you can just have us here.
Yeah, still good morning, everyone. Yeah, as my Oga said, good morning, colleagues. Because we are still colleagues. We are all farmers. Yeah, we are on the field demonstration now. You know, from our Oga presentation this morning, he was able to explain the level of the tractors and how tractorization works very well. And then if you are planting big acreage of land, the planters, they are ready to be available, and then with fertilizer application. Now, you can see this field now. You can see that it's already arrowed, well marked. It has a line already. That line, if you have a planter, the planter can stay on the line and you plant everything straight than looking for a straight line by yourself. And then moreover, if you are planting on a big acreage, you don't need to get a marker because these are markers. We have a marker here that will attach to the tractors that does this. Not like when you have we show you some planter that have like 6 rows, 4 rows in the morning, where you put your seed with fertilizer application, it will plant everything and apply fertilizer the same thing when you are planting big. You know, when you are planting like 2 hectares, 1 hectare, you can easily use rope to make your straight line because maize, when it's straight, the hard cases of to avoid overcrowding and the level of the densities of maize is very, very important. Now, this is just like half of an hectare where we use arrow to do it. We want to demonstrate the planting space practically and the fertilizer application if you are using by hand, not like using machines. Now we have our maize here. We have our maize. We'll show you. You can see the straight line. Everything was straight due to the heavy rain that caused all those field dilapidating. Now we have our, where is jam planter? Yeah, come Said. If you can see, this jam planter, as we show you in the morning, this is the jam planter made by an American. From year to year, it's 25 cm. You can see. We'll demonstrate the 2 spaces we demonstrate in the morning, where they show you during the presentation. This is 25 centimeter. When it goes more than this, it will be 25. Do you get? Do you get? The 25 will have 2 seed per hole. Why the 25 will have 1? Now, move, Said. Show them gradually. Wait. Gently. You can see. Don't cover. Punch again. Punch again. All right, relax. Yeah, as you can see the measurement. This is 25 centimeter. Is anybody to confirm it? If you know spacing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the depth of the hole also. Not too deep for easy emerge of the seed. Sure, you can see.
Okay, one seed.
One seed. You drop it, it cover. Now, Said, you dig another 50 seed, 2 rows. 50. Yes. So you can see 2.
Okay.
This is the 50. When you have 2 like this, it doesn't need thinning. Because the spacing will carry the plant for establishment, for food take, to avoid competitions, overcrowding, and all that. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now, once you have it 50-50 like this, it will be planting it straight down. And the fertilizer application, is it available now? Not yet. Yeah, let's keep on the planting. Let them try the jam planter. Is there anyone to try to see? Saidi, you can still go more to see the practical aspect. Make it 25 now. It's 25. This is 25. We'll show you 50. We'll show 25. You can see that is very straight. Yeah. We did not cover it. Just for you to see the distance between them. Yeah, that's 25. fertilizer, Said. Wait, Said.
Let somebody try.
Is there anyone that can try the jam planter? Before you show how the fertilizer application will be done. Oh yeah, try. It's bending. It's okay. Anybody again?
We have a question online. They said, what is the best space for maize? Can you repeat that, sir?
Yes, the best way we already said it. We have two types of spacing, where they can use 25 centimeters,
25 centimeters.
yes, and 50 centimeters. The 25 implies you drop one seed per hole, while the 50 centimeter is 2 per hole. For the intra row, for in between is 75. Yes. Yeah, for planting 25 centimeter, it save seed rate, and then save more seed, and then it's avoid even another stress of thinning, not to be thinned. 25 centimeter and 50 centimeter, the planting space.
Sir, now they have dropped the seed. Is it that they will not cover it?
No, they will cover it. We are just to say sampling. Yeah. Even when you are using jam planter, you can still cover it. Initially, when the guy started, you can see planting is covering it because he's an expert on it. When you are using jam planter, once you are using it, the leg will be covering it. We show this one for you to see the distance between each of the plant.
On spacing, you mentioned 20. Okay. You mentioned that it's two types for spacing. I want to ask, what of 25 by 75?
Yeah, we already said it.
Okay. For that 25, for that 50, 2 seeds per hole at 50 cm, what will be the population on 1 hectare?
Yeah, for the 25, we'll be having like 333 plant stand per hectare. For the 50, we'll be having like 30, the same population. Yes, the same population because of the spacing. Yeah, the same population.
But if you want to plant more, then you come to change it. But make sure all the agronomic process, fertilizer, weeding on time, the population will feel themselves.
Yes, that's what I've already said it earlier. To avoid overcrowding and more density of seed. Is there any question?
Let them try the just plant.
Yeah, please, you can still try it.
And then the bamboo. Many
That-
people
that-
use
Yes, we'll show them bamboo also.
Like-
In the absence of, you don't have the jam planter, let me demonstrate. That's why, as we demonstrate in the morning, you sharpen it like this. For easy. You drop your seed. Not too deep.
Hold it. Let's take.
Sorry, we'll see these things later.
Yeah. We already said earlier, when the drip irrigation, my guy was explaining in my scientifics, that you sharpen your bamboo. When you sharpen it is to make easy when you wanted to plant it. When you dig, you drop one, you cover. You can see. It's a straight. Yeah, it's from your leg. 1 foot. It's 1 foot. You see, I'm putting my foot. You can see. Even, yeah, this is 25.
Let's see 50.
Now, if you want to do 50 now, you double it.
Double your leg.
Those in the northern part, you can see them when they are planting. They move fast and they use their leg for the measurement. When they are moving, you see not people plant tutu most. It goes like that. That's why they normally be on the road straight line. To avoid mixing of road and then to make everything for people.
Add to them that the operations that you do, routing and everything, it is facilitated by straight planting and the row planting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you take a broadcast. How is it going to be? You don't live in the population. So you have to plant on the row. Even when you come to inspect, you will be able to see most of the plants. But if you don't plant in row, it's difficult. Thank you.
Yeah. For the fertilizer application now, we have the fertilizer now.
Yes. We can go back.
Let's go back, please.
Okay, please, let's just stand on the side like this, so that, please.
So when applying it's preferably an economical to apply fertilizer when planting because it's going to save you that. That's another cost of production. But by the time you are planting and you're applying, you've killed one stone to kill two birds, which is more economical for applying fertilizer. You don't have to pour it directly in the hole. We all know that it kills the seed. It's preferably in between these. If it's here, this plant will make use of it. They keep sharing this, and it goes on like that. So, it's not advisable to make use of your hand anyway because these are chemicals. So the scope, we have this scope we use for our own measuring it right here in IITA. But for average farmer, a normal cock bottle is okay. Just it's fine this way. Yes, it's necessary to cover because if this volatile song comes out, not.
And then we have back.
I prefer doing this way,
Yes, and the other side.
then the other side.
Because they are 50 centimeters.
Because it's 50 centimeters, the distance apart is far.
Yeah,
This is MPK.
15.
This is
Fertilizer.
actually good for the vegetative growth. Remember, as we are planting, this at the vegetative production time, where the seed is going to get use of the urea at the stage where we're about to tassel, which is like 4 to 6 weeks. What the plant needs at that time is just N, so that increased production of food for the tassel, the silk, seed filling.
Yes.
But the time whereby is at the tasseling stage. You need this for when it's tasseling, but you notice that your plants, the leaves are yellow.
By the time they talk, that they need N.
No, we mentioned it. Your plant will tell you what it needs at when it needs it. So at that time, you notice maybe parameter when you applied your fertilizer at first, something happened. Or maybe you didn't weed PK and the urea at the same time. You have at the time whereby you have your leaves, they are turning light green. That is not too good. But when it's good when it's dark, the flowering stage, this will help it for good dark green leaves. And as a doctor has said, the leaves is the kitchen. The leaves provides the food for the tassel, for the silk, and for grain filling. And the main reason why farmers go to the field is for the product, the yield. It will be so interesting when we go to the field and if you plant hybrid material or PV material, where you get 6 tons per hectare. Everybody smells. But the very moment you plant your leaves like 2 tons per hectare or even less, it's disheartening. It's not encouraging for we farmers to go to the field to do something like that. But if you go for you too, by the time you're even about harvesting, you're actually happy. It will even encourage people passing around to be like, oh, which material did you plant? Then you'll be like, okay, I got this seed from this, I got this seed from this. That's if it's a good source. So you'll be telling them, I got this seed from a particular, maybe premier seed or value seed. And then when you advertise them, they go to the field. Then the other farmer too gives good yield. If everybody starts giving good yield in this food security, everybody will be able to, okay, I'm encouraging my friend, let's go to the field, let's go to the field, let's get our material from this and that. So it's all these agronomic practices that will help you to get good yield. You get good yield, everybody smells. And that's the aim of the farmer, good yield for each and every one of us. So the basic, okay, yes, sir.
Let me add this. Your seed, you may not be, you may try to be comfortable when you get your seed from IITA. But if you do not complement with good agronomic practices, go and plant it and don't weed it. Don't blame us for that. It is your own problem. Now, when we calculate and then computed the percentage, the seed has 60% of success. But 40% comes from good agronomic practices. This is very important. And then if you want to weed your maize, anytime 2 weeks to 3 weeks, do the first weeding after planting. And then another 2 weeks, you do the second planting. I mean the second weeding. So what is going to happen, your maize is going to grow very fast. Any weed that is coming, it will smolder it when you have a good variety. Thank you.
The other fertilizer that you brought just now, how do you apply the two together? In a, yes.
Like I said,
Yes.
is your plant will tell you what it needs. Maybe at that point, maybe during
Can't you just apply the two together?
Some farmer does that. You know, I work with a lot of farmer in Okyogo. They does that. Due to they have a good land and they have soil, a lot, good soil fertilities. But ideally, agronomically, it's 2 weeks and 4 weeks, 6 weeks. But I see a lot of farmers doing that. Even I corrected them sometimes. They say, their land is good, their land is good, that's what they are telling me. But I let them know, for the plant to use N and NPKs are different from N. You know, the hen simplify when the babies are coming up, for them to take up the food, more food. You know, it's just like a pregnant woman when they're taking his iron, is taking all those ones for the baby to be vigor, to be good livings and all that. And I told them NPK 15 is stand for the NPK. You know, for the plant to be phosphorus, to use the NPK, to use everything, to make the plant stand. It's quite different, but a lot of farmers use mixing, which is not good because their works are different. 2 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks after planting. That was the best method. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so why all this space, I mean the application done differently? Just as TY explained, the roots are developing at the time of 2, 3 weeks. So if you put it that time, The nitrogen has high percentage of volatilization. The air will take it, and then the soil also will dissipate. But when the roots are properly developed, that is after 4 weeks to 5 weeks, when you put it, they're going. The one which was in the compound fertilizer, that's NPK, that N there is to initiate the growth process. And then the P, which is a phosphorus, is fixed in the soil and it goes very slow. The same with K, which is potassium. So they can stay for long, but N does not. So that N which you applied in the compound to initiate the growth of the root and the leaves, you need to add at a different time another one that now goes for manufacturing of more food for your plant. Thank you.
Yes. Sir, question, sir. In between the first row is 25 or 50. What of the first row? What of the second row? What are the distance between these? Yeah, 75.
This is the inter row.
This is intra. This is intra. This is the inter. In between. This is the intra. This is when you can confirm. You have to.
Small depth for the seed. Hope the wind will not affect the. Okay.
You know, if you plant very deep, the seed emergence will not come out in time.
I know.
You get it. But when you plant at adequate depth, your germination will be enhanced in time. Any questions?
Is it a must to apply fertilizer?
Plant will eat. Like where you are eating, they also need food. I said it earlier. There are some farm in Okigwe. They said they have fertility, the fertile land. The fertile, we don't need to apply NPK. We don't need to apply urea. But ideally, their plants, they need to take in something up to enhance them. Yeah, they need a lot of supplement. That's why we apply the NPK. You apply, even do you in your own field, do a practical. Do some experiment by yourself. Apply some NPK urea to some and follow all the agronomic practices and don't apply anything. You see the yield inferences. There will be variance between them. I must bet it with you. There must be variance.
The reason why I'm saying this is okay.
I want to give an example by themselves. I don't know your household population, but imagine that you have 10 people to feed in the house, and then you bring only 1 Congo of gari, and then half a Congo of beans, cook it and let you people eat. Who will be satisfied? That is exactly what the soil is suffering from. So you need to add more gari and more Congo of beans. That is coming from fertilizer. So use yourself as an example.
Yes, I want to add to his question. If you are opening a new land, marginal land, farmers at the initial stage may not add fertilizer. But we are being informed that, when you carry out the soil test, which some farmers may not afford, but when you open up a new land, maybe what he has just said may apply. But for the soil like yours, you have been using continuously in a year out, you need to add this nutrient. And like a practical farmer, within 10, 15 days of planting maize, the maize will show you hunger sign, just like human beings. You expected your plant to look green. And after 7, 8 days, you are seeing yellow, light green. That's so that the soil is deficient. That's my country. But my own question is this. We are in the research institute and we believe and we see that you have all what it takes to carry out all the facilities. But outside there, it's an Herculean task. That fertilizer NPK now is around 35,000 naira per 50 kilogram bag. 49. So, considering all those things and even the labor to apply all this, that's the reason, because we are talking about at the end of the day, what is the net revenue, naira and kobo. So that's why most farmers don't follow that recommendation, because if you calculate what goes with the costs of even procuring fertilizer. But my question is that we are now, I mean, I don't know whether I want you to confirm whether it's a leeway for farmers. This issue of a liquid fertilizer we are having around, I think what these farmers are now using to augment. I don't want to advertise it, but we have a lot of this liquid fertilizer outside. And because it's, I'm not saying it's cheaper, it's maybe in cost, is somewhere lower. Then the cost of application, because these days, I used to tell people, we don't have the age of farmers on the field now, the average of 50, 65 years. You see, when you prefer to go and load cement at Ojo than follow you to the farm or follow bricklayer or go in Okada. So, but when you put this liquid fertilizer in your tank, you can even cover 1 or 2 acres. So I want the scientists to corroborate this, that I know, or let people know that it may not be as the expected, because I try one, this woman is here. We try one particular maize exercise. With all we talk, we have good seed, pioneer seed, let me mention the name. We use all this, we use planter, we apply fertilizers at planting. Everything. Only we get 2.5 tons. This is here. Even when you go to that farm, hey, so this your 65 tons per hectare. I'm scared though. Maybe you are using this small plot to extrapolate. But I'm happy if you are a farmer, please. So counter or support what I've said. To get 4-5 tons of maize per hectare outside the farm. So I want you to comment on this view of liquid fertilizer. Please, that's why we are here.
Thank you for this opportunity, my scientists. Yeah, sir, we appreciate you for this. Now, I will start from the seed source. You said pioneer. You buy it from the agro dealer. Is it agro dealer?
No, they supply for the company because it's sponsored.
Yeah, it's Cotiva because I know them. Yeah, I saw it. And then you got 2.5. Yes, because the manager was our staff. I don't know where you plant it. Where do you plant it?
At also for any staff, here in Ibadan. Between Ibarakpa and Ido local government.
Please. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, thank you, my colleague. That's a very good question. I've just told you that your good seed is only 60%, but your best agronomic practices comes with the 40%. Now, the thing is this, that seed that you got from Pioneer, we work with them. We even test, and then that's how they get released, those things. We test for them. They don't have many fields, but we test for them. Now, those varieties, if they are released, what is their name here locally named by NAGRAP? Because we will just trace it. Otherwise, if it is the seed they brought and then, okay, test our pioneer field, it is like the testing field. Because if we ask for the data of the field trial and the on-farm trial, we may not get it. So that is a question mark there. Because those seeds and those varieties were developed in South Africa, where you don't have Sembora, you don't have Striga, you don't have many of the nematodes and the rest. They are not there, especially the leaf streak virus. And then so many of the forest here has got so many diseases. I just want to let you know, Ikene is our hotspot of diseases. All diseases in the tropical, you get it there. If you have your maize that survive Ikene, take it anywhere. I can bet it for you. So part of your problem was from the seed source. You trust them because a seed company, but that seed company, we always have question for them. Where have you developed your variety? Is it you developed for drought, for striga, for stem borer, for fall armyworm? And where is it tested? Give us the data. So we believe in data. So whatever they did, it was like they are trying to identify some of their varieties which are doing a little bit good in one or two locations. Then they use your place as one of the locations. I'm sorry to mention this, but those are the facts. In science, we don't lie. And our politicians, they do that. We tell you the truth. If you want to do anything to me, do it, but I've told you the truth. So we have question about that variety. So you can do us a favor, please get the name of that variety released by NAGRAB, which year, and then we also search our data because we do tests for them. So part of your problem is the seed source. That provide all, because you did all what it takes to raise a good maize. Unfortunately, you can't get to 2.5. Yeah, it's all this practice. Now, but we do on-farm testing. We are in charge of on-farm testing in the whole of West Africa. We know what Nigeria is able to produce, a farmer like you, because here, only few of our colleagues who test on-farm, they do it, I think, in Northern Oyo, and then most of it in Niger State, and then Kaduna as you go north. But if they are able to extend here, we don't have the resource. Otherwise, we can engage IITA to test with some of you guys our product, and then the product that they release from us, so that you now will have a data yourself. Look at it. On the average, yes, the farmer can produce 3 tons. Average farmer here in Nigeria. We started boosting it from 1.8, then we moved to 2, that was 2015. Then by 2017, 2.5. Now, those farmers who have met with us and talked with us as like you, they are producing 3 tons and above. So I think we need a lot of interaction with you guys. All right, thank you.
We have some farmers online. Yes, we have some farmers online watching via our YouTube channel who also have some questions here. This one is from Bright Okunfolami. He says, how many plants per acre at one seed per hole? Another one says, where can I get the jam planter to buy? Another one says, what's the space per plant? And this other one says, what's the name of the fertilizer? Yes. The questions.
Yeah, I think I tried to answer this question in piecemeal to one of your colleagues. But now, let me answer them. I hope the person is online. If you plant 25 spacing and 1 seed per hectare, you will have 53,333 plants. If you plant 50 and then 2 seeds, it is the same population, because you just double the 25 to become 50. It's the same population. The jack planter is always manufactured in the US. But we have somebody in Cameroon, I've lost contact with him. He used to make jack planter, the local one. So at that time, when we had the last discussion with him, it was 2017. I don't know whether he still continued because he was not supported by the government. But the thing was really very good. His own is you stand straight, you go, not bending. So those are the few things that I know about the jack planter. Otherwise, it is in US, but that should not be your headache. Your headache will be to accomplish the plant population in your field. So for production, we could recommend it at 25 for you. You have saved the more seed. But even if you go for 50, it is the same thing because you will not go for thinning. That is the point. Because thinning, you need money, you need labor, which you can avoid by planting. If there is a supply to be done, that is between 5 and 7 days. You check your field thoroughly where it is not germinated or emerged, then you resupply them. So the other question is the type of, there are so many fertilizers in town. Unfortunately, I'm a breeder, not a soil scientist, but I can give you the basics. In the market, you find that they write on it, the source is very important because there are people who are out there to make money. I remember when Akin was the Minister of Agriculture, when he started giving fertilizer and the seed, before we had like 18 seed companies in Nigeria, 2 years we had like 150 seed companies. People go get their seed from where they know. So please, the source is very, very, very important, either for your fertilizer and your seed. Whatever you do for agriculture, make sure that you get it from the right source, so that you don't say, okay, IITA gave us this seed, or Premier gave us this seed, but it is not doing well. They have deceived us. I know most of my friends in Kaduna and Kano, they say, okay, when you want to identify maize, you say, okay, this one is agriculture, and this one is our own seed. So the one for agriculture, nobody takes care of it. You just plant there because agriculture provides it. You have to take care of them. It's for you, not for me. Thank you. Okay, my friend, I think we are going to be good friends with you. The liquid fertilizer or granule fertilizer, it doesn't matter. Make sure you know the right application, the quantity to apply, and when to apply. Because the liquid fertilizer, it makes it easy for you to put in knapsack, and then you can spray even 5 hectares if you are a hard worker like me. But if you are a lazy one, like myself again, you, you will go for 1 hectare per day. But make sure you eat a good pounded yam. For me, I eat amala. I like amala. If I want to work the whole day, I go for amala. So it depends on the fertilizer and the soil. Please don't say, okay, IITA say, okay, go for liquid fertilizer or granule. No, they are all depends on where you are getting them and where you see a result. By the way, I don't want you people to look at yourself as a farmer. Don't even add the grammar, just farmer. No. That's why I started greeting you. You are my colleague. You are our colleagues. It's just the role that we fall into. But basically, we are all farmers. Thank you.
Asking, would you recommend source for seeds?
Yeah, the recommendation of the seed is always go to repeatable seed company. I can recommend for you Premier Seed, because that one we know, we work with them. They even give us every year like 5 hectares in their own farm. We go and do research there. And then Value Seeds are all in Kaduna State. And there are several others. So the list that I have is inexhaustible, but at least these 2 I can recommend, because even Agra recommend them to produce, for those of you who wants to go into seed production, foundation seed. So those 2 I think is okay. But as we continue in this discussion, when we become real friends, we'll share the list with you. Thank you.
I planted sickle seed this year. It's yellow, yearly matured. I think so. Yes. But when I harvested it, in each cob, I found at least 20 white. in it. Why should it be? And there's no any maize around.
This is a very good scientific question. Why? The question I must ask you, do you know the parents of what brought this yellow? The grandfathers. You don't know. Now let me simplify by the human being. You will find that husband and wife, they are all dark like myself. I can even exemplify with my own parents. Both my mama and papa, they were dark. But our grandmother and grandfather, they were light in complexion. So my late mother gave birth to us, 4 of us. 3 of us were all dark, close to Oivo. It's not albino, it's just good. It's fair in complexion. So what you see there, my brother, is the parents which were used to cross to build up that population which you planted. So what you saw is bringing the segregation. Then when you see things like that, if there is any need for you to plant again, and then you want to plant from your seed source, remove those whites. In white, because you are breeders. That's why I always respect. So the question for you, that one hybrid or was it open pollinated variety or synthetic? Sorry for putting those grammar, but those are the classes. Yeah, it's hybrid, exactly. That's na papa mama. Is it 3-way or single cross? Okay, let's leave it there. But it's from the parents.
There is most of things that is cutting across the globe now. Exactly. I need the right to ask scientists. Is this issue of talking of GMO? And people have been clamoring that these things lead us to our head and that. I think I've been coming to our area for long. We started with the later origin. But if you see at the national level, they are scaring not only farmers, even consumers. Say that GMO products is not good for our health. It's a calculated attempt by West to reduce our population, all this and that. So I think this is the right as a breeder. I've talked a lot about people. They say, because I believe with my little knowledge that anything you put in the soil and the thing comes up, and you have another generation, the issue of all this the engineering has gone. So, but I think it's another opportunity for me to add to the little knowledge I have about this genetically modified organism. I think that's what they call it. So please, sir.
Finish your question. Thank you. I said let's have this debate all the time. Yeah, to begin with, the Taylor maize. The story of Taylor maize starts from one center, they call it IITA. If you Google, you'll find it. And then in Nigeria, they are partnering with IAR, Samaru, Zaria. So they tested it according to them. And they said they also did on-farm trial where we were not even involved. So we don't know much about the Taylor maize. But fortunately, even I had this question yesterday from one of my very senior colleagues. He was here, our senior staff, but then they transferred him to DR Congo. Then he came yesterday, especially to discuss with me that Taylor maize. And I told him, sir, we don't know much about it. But this GMO thing is difficult for you to really gauge whether it is bad or good. Our suspicion is that until we have all the data to prove that this GMO is safe for human consumption, we still have a question. Until we also prove that it's bad for human consumption, then we still have a question to answer. So there are no data from that end. But your question is good. Yeah, they will be in a better position because they also released cowpea earlier during the time of Professor Asheko, Mohammed Asheko. But that cowpea now, farmers cannot use Samboras and the striker. Striker is the main problem, one of the major problems of cowpea production in Nigeria. So they have not addressed that. And that is why, remember when I was saying Pioneer maize, where was it developed? Was it developed for drought, for striker, or for just normal planting where there is no disease or there is disease? So those are questions to be answered. So, but for the tailor, my dear brother, I'm just like you. We are trying to find answers, but our question always, the best place that could answer us is the IR, not IRNT, it is IR in Samaru. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We are very grateful. Please, my question goes, sir. On the usual of applying fertilizer, we are all aware that majority of these fertilizers are chemical-based fertilizers. And since people are more getting cautious of their health, I want to know what is IITA putting in place, either to create an alternative way of using all these chemical-based fertilizers, and besides either to have an organic fertilizer to be using. And secondly, for the people that are breeding the seeds, I mean, for the final consumers, are the people that they are just raising, they want to use the foliage of the leaves, I mean, the leaves of the maize for the animal feeds and the likes. Are we to maintain the same planting space, or is it going to be different? And thirdly, sir, there are some people that they are interested in mixed farming, like having a kind of having maize and some other things, either with any of the legumes crops. Are we still going to maintain the same planting space, or there's going to be a difference in this, sir? Thank you. And thirdly, okay, fourthly, sir. I mean, for the storage, we have been talking about the planting. I hope it's going to be gradual. That we are going to move from this stage of planting to cut off other value chains all across. Thank you, sir.
He was my colleague when we went to studio to take photograph, and we advised the cameraman that the perfume that we put must appear. All right, those are good sets of questions. I think we need more time to talk. Let me take from the fertilizer issue. Fortunately now, in the whole of West Africa and Sahel, it has been unanimously agreed in sub-Saharan Africa that IITA will be the center and the hub of fertilizer in West and Sahel, West Africa and Sahel, which will be an advantage for you. Now, going by either foliar or granule or organic, it all depends on what works well for us. But as I always maintain that you are our colleagues, why don't we start doing this? I know in IITA we have system agronomists, that is their work. But most of them, they don't do really things that some of us who work directly with farmers do. They do things to publish their papers. Mine, even if I stay 10 years in the same position, if I maintain my friend, that's it. So it depends, but people have been working on it. There are two of my friends in Mokwa. They work for NCRI. Yeah, there's one, Dr. Yusuf. So he's working on that. And I did not check with him for the last 3 years whether he has come up with strong now to convince all of us and that this is the path you need to. What he was doing then was very interesting. He applied only chemical fertilizer at a certain dose, and then he reduced like this. Then he started also with the organic with different doses, and then there's a mix of the two. But what struck my eye that time was the mix of the two. gave the highest production in all the levels that he applied. So, which means these are some of the things we go for. And, but we need to have that evidence, because in science we believe in evidence. That's the only difference between us and you. But you don't mind about data. You want to see what goes on the table. But we want to make sure there is evidence of what goes on the table, or what is put on the table. Yeah, you have so many questions. If I'm sure I have not captured all. Okay, okay, yeah. Let me start with the mixed plant. The mixed farming is encouraged. It's only in the southwest here I've not seen much, but in the central, in the north, I've seen it. Farmers have started and they're doing well. There are people who do mix of maize with soybean, and you can see the soybean when it is growing, and then you see maize is already flowering. And the soybean has easy way of fixing the nitrogen. In addition to what you apply, the maize has more than enough. And also you maintain your soil. The same with cowpea, but soybean has a higher level of fixation than cowpea. Cowpea has the same level with granite, but it depends also on the varieties that you use for mix. This is a welcoming idea, because should anything happen like disaster on maize, then you have your cowpea or soybean or granite that will save you and your family. If you have it the other way, you have your maize to be. But I've also seen people growing maize either with sorghum or with rice. That one I will not support. I'm not agronomist, but I will not support, because my plant physiology tells me that the cereals, when you plant them in mixture, they absorb all the available nutrients in the first 1.5 meter of your soil. So you are killing that soil by overloading with all cereals. So it is legume and cereal. That is the recommendation I can give. The spacing. Okay, the safety.
I asked about the food safety, I mean, for the use of the chemicals
Mm.
in production, and then the spacing in mixed farming, and people with different ideas of this you are supposed to like. Okay, sir. I mean, for people that they are growing for different objectives, not for final consumers, probably they are going for the animals' usage, that they only want to make use of the foliage. And when mixed cropping, at what spacing should we maintain, sir?
Okay, let me go back from where I talk of the mix. Now, when you are mixing, I could just imagine, because I have not practiced it, I have no data to show, but I can think that you can go for 50-50, and then between that 50, you can put that to your legume. This is like spacing 25. So if you want to go for double cropping, then maybe you can go to 75 or 60, and then still you maintain, that will be like 30-30. So you get that. For the leaf and the purpose of growing that maize, if you are interested in the leaves, then you need higher population. Higher population, like planting between plants 20, then you will have 66,667 plants per hectare. That's what you'll have. But then for the safety, don't just try to boost the leaves, because people need it. But people need it for the right use. Because even that leaf that your animal is going to feed on, you are going to use at the end. Of course, you feed animal. So if you use the toxic chemicals, it will toxicate you at the end of the. So you just be careful. Do what people normally do. Don't overdo it, because you know, God will not even allow that. So do things within, but always be in contact with the. I wish there were the agronomist here to answer that good. We have the livestock people here with us, Ari. they will be in the right position. One of my colleagues, who is the country rep, I wish he was here because we did some testing with him in Kenya, and we found that some of the maize can be very good for both as a feed and also as food. That means they get a lot of leaves to produce, and they stay longer with the green leaves. I mean, while their stock dries. I hope I
Thank you very much, sir. Please, I just want you to talk about the types of insecticides and then herbicides and the application.
Fine. I think you're a practical farmer. You're not absentee farmer. Yes, the pesticide and herbicides application. Let me start from insecticide. If you want to apply for insecticide, you must know what we call threshold. You have to inspect your field and see that most of the leaves, or at least in any plant, 2 or 3 leaves have been attacked. Then you have to spray. Lesser than that, you will be wasting your money. And then delay from that one, you will be in trouble. So at the right time, that's why we say the real farmers, because they're on the field. Not somebody who sends money, okay, I'm inspecting 3 tons of maize. Okay, go. Okay, go. That they've planted for me 10 hectares, I'm inspecting. No, it's the farmer who's in the field. Because that absentee farmer will never determine the threshold of insects or disease on the field. Now coming to the weeds. The weeds, that's why we said you are not an absentee farmer. You have shown those pictures that I showed to you. The right time, starting from 2 weeks onward, because it depends on the weed population and the type where you are planting. I don't know. But any moment, you have to be on the field, please. Don't go for wedding 3 days, 4 days. Even for funeral, go today, tomorrow you're on the field. Because our plants talk to us and we talk to them. How do we talk? We're always there with them and they know us. The same for you. If you keep on going to your field, then you will know how to talk to your plants and you hear their language. The kind of grammar they bring, you know it. It's very important. So, 2 to 3 weeks, you do your first weeding. And it isn't after the first one. But if you have low weed population, you can also go for 3 weeks. The reason being that you want your plant to grow until it is able to smother any weed that comes thereafter. I hope I've answered you.
There's not few names, Abby.
No, apart from that, now we are having the problem of infestation of monkeys on farmland. So
It's a lot in Okyogo. It's very lot in Okyogo.
Yeah, because I went there. I went there with Professor Lokoju. And when we were doing farm demonstration, the monkeys, they harvested one of our field there. You see, my sister, that one we don't have the real recommendation, but we can propose that you as a farmer, you need to scout on your field. As soon as your plant begins to flower, that is the time. You need to spare to guide it, at least during the day. But we did it one time, if you remember, they came in the night. Yes. So we had to hire a security guard, a hunter who comes in the night. So we have all this kind of problem, but always be associated with your field, so that you know what comes in, what goes out, and how to people who may provide suggestions.
Sorry, before you answer. You know, locally in Okyogun, they say you buy dog, you kill, you put in the farm. It can work. What works you have your hunter on the field. When you kill like 2 or 3, they will not come again. But you go and buy dog, you put dog traditionally, it will not work. Even they will eat the dog, or they will finish all the farm. They are very, very stubborn, this thing. They destroy a whole farm in a whole day. There are very more in Okyogun. There are very, very many. Even likewise, my colleagues from him, he called me, what they can I said, nothing, just go and collect 3 hunters. Let them kill as many as possible. They will not see them. But till now, they did not come again to that farm. That is the best practice for it. That's the best practice.
Additional one is that what you have just said is monkey drive. That is engage hunter. Another thing is that you don't keep isolated farm. If you are the only one cultivating 1 or 2 hectares in that jungle, they will finish the farm. But if you are together in a cluster, even to finance the monkey drive, hiring hunters be easier. You know what I'm saying? At also forest reserve, we experience it. But when we have farms, adjoining to one another, and you keep, and immediately you kill 1 or 2, and if you can just hang the head of one of them on the farm, it is no.
Yeah, that's good. Let me just add, not on the monkeys, but also on the quillia bird that eat maize.
Yes.
Because when you plant good maize with a very tight tip, the quillia will not. But it's particularly for farmers who are growing sorghum. It will be rather good for you to grow maize. Because the way quillia deals with sorghum, you will wonder. You will wonder. You just say, let me go for maize or cassava. Because maize with a very tight tip, husk cover, that is the best. Quillia will do whatever, but it will only eat maybe 20%. You have your maize 80%. Sorghum is open. So they will have a field day.
They come in drones.
Yeah. My country happens to be near where quillia used to breed. Yes. So, certain time of the year, children, sometimes some parents go, you not go to school today, you have to scare the quillia. So, but thank God, in Southwest, I've not seen much of it, but it is something you need to take note of. Thank you.
All right, thank you. A round of applause for our scientists. It's been a wonderful time, question and answer segment. And of course, right now, in orderly manner, we will take some of our seedlings, seeds, please. I beg your seeds, seeds. I beg your pardon. Then we'll take a group photograph. If we have told you that we'll interview you, please just stay behind. We'll take some information scientists right away. Of course, our WhatsApp channel that we've added you the new WhatsApp group. Please make sure you ask your questions. Our scientists will also be, and our researchers too, will also be on that platform to answer some of the questions that you will be posing to them. So, in another manner, please, from behind, please, just you see those 2 ladies, we have the seat. So, scientists, so I wanted to ask you, sir. You went for
my name. Leave
okay, okay, all right,
welcome.
Dr. Wanse. So I wanted to ask you specifically. You talked about importance of agronomy practices. To what extent is that? How do we need to take that seriously, especially for the farmers who have come for this outreach today?
Okay, thank you for that big question. We do breeding the genetics of the seed, and then we work for 60%. But this 45%, and farmers always take good practices for granted. They weed late, which is actually contributing factor to low yielding, and fertilizer application is late. Sometimes it is expensive, they cannot apply, and they still blame the seed source. So you need to apply the right dose of fertilizer at that particular time. Again, the things like insects, you have to keep your eye on your farm because that is your livelihood. Whatever happens is strange. Either ask question or take measure immediately. Any delay, because this is a biological thing, it will just go. It will die. And then you have a low yield at the end of the day. You will not be able to feed your family and you will blame the seed that you got from IITA, which is not true because your agronomic practice is not as specified for you or as you heard the recommendation. So the recommended weeding the recommended fertilizer application, the recommended pesticide or pest and insect control, they are basic, important. That is 40% of your success. Thank you.
All right. Any major advice finally for farmers who are also watching us, who have participated online for this outreach today?
Yeah, they are not farmers. These are my colleagues. I don't know because you're a radio man. But for me, these are my colleagues. I can read from their faces. Most of them, they have really taken the advice. But we will live to see it. We will sporadically go, I mean, at a certain interval, at least visit 5 of them after planting. That will be in September. We go with my team, we will assess what you have planted, and we know our variety. It will talk to us what you failed to do, and we'll tell you right there. So, but we believe you have taken up to 80% of the instructions and agronomic practice given to you. Plus, the PDF file of my presentation will be provided to you. Read it. If you don't understand it, please come on that platform of the WhatsApp, ask your questions, and we'll provide the answer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Yes, I will have one of the participants here today. Please come this way. Who has also benefited from the outreach? Please come this way. Thank you. Yes. Can you tell us your name? What this outreach has now done? This training that we have had here today.
Well, thank you. I'm Lukman Oladapo from Omiadi. Well, I've done a lot, adding to my knowledge. I've been in the field for over 30 years. And the interaction I had today, it has also brought in my mind. And after this exercise, I'm going to replicate the messages and the lesson learned from this field so that to benefit from this knowledge in growing maize profitably, I would say, taking all the steps highlighted.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. We have more participants. Thank you for your time, sir. We have more participants here at the Radio IIT Farmers Outreach. Thank you for coming. What's your name, your designation, where are you from, and what you've learned today?
My name is Abdulrazak Abdulaziz from Omiaji. I've indeed learned a lot, most especially from Dr. Ms. Siaka, our researcher, Mr. Ujo, and other noble lecturers. I'm highly delighted. I'm a newcomer into this farming something, been introduced by Ms. Olainka. Presently, I'm the marketing manager for Farmsy Agric Nigeria Limited along Odeda Killer. Thank you so much. I'm highly delighted with the practical experiences I've seen here today on the applications or the growing, the planting of maize, the meters to be given, and the application of fertilizers and the distances, and on how to get a very good yield in our farm maize plantation. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. We still have more participants from the Radio IIT Farmers Outreach this afternoon. Tell us your name. Agronomic practices has been emphasized here today. Apart from that and many others, what is your takeaway from this outreach today as a maize farmer? Yes.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Ololade Abdulaziz from Oyo. Absolutely, we are grateful to IT Radio for giving us this opportunity to be here today. We have learned a lot from our scientists, from the lead scientist and some others here. At least we have learned about good agronomic practice for our maize farming, and I think this will be going to improve a lot in maize farming as far as we are concerned.
All right. Any advice for our onlookers and listeners from what you've learned today? Generally?
Yeah, my advice is that people should just be consistent in their way of doing things and keep on learning, and then we are going to make a progress.
All right. Thank you very much. That's about it from the field here. It is the Radio IITA Farmers Outreach this afternoon. We still have one more. Mr. Ojo will also quickly is a research supervisor, senior research supervisor at the Maize Improvement Program at IITA. A recap and summary of this outreach for our maize farmers.
Yeah, we really appreciate everybody that comes around, and then we are looking for more beautiful one in the years to come. to how a farmer will come to adopt a new system and a new technology that we have been bred in IITA. The frontliner of our head of the program, Dr. Abebe Menki, because a lot of technology has been on pipeline and a lot of hybrid will soon be released. We appreciate them for coming, and then we'll see them in the forthcoming year being a pro farmer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That's about it on Radio IIT's Farmers Outreach. There's more to come. All right. Yes. This has featured maize farmers. This is in collaboration with the Maize Improvement Program here at IITA. You can watch these videos on YouTube. Find IITA videos on YouTube and find IITA on WhatsApp channel. Stay tuned for the next Farmers Outreach. My name is Bamishe Dada. Thank you. Group photograph. All right, sir. Please, we can come here for a group photograph.